Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Donald Trump is bombing and slaughtering the innocent people of Yemen. At the same time, his goons domestically are abducting and disappearing innocent civilians and persecuting college students on campus. On top of this, the baby-killing Zionist regime is resuming its genocide against Gaza. But here's the thing. None of this is new. Biden also bombed and slaughtered Yemenis. Biden also oversaw the brutalization and persecution of students on campus. Biden also funded and armed the US Zionist genocide against Gaza. So let's just review the history and see what brought us here. In 2000, Arabs and Muslims voted for George Bush because Al Gore had a Zionist Jew as his running mate. George Bush then launched the so-called War on Terror, which led to the slaughter of more than 4.5 million people. After his 2 terms, Arabs and Muslims switched over to the Democratic side, because who could vote Republican after those 8 years, right? Well, then Obama turned out to be just as much of a criminal, a terrorist, and a warmonger as his predecessor. Yet after his 8 years, Arabs and Muslims stuck with the Democratic Party because the other option was big bad Donald Trump. Trump still won the presidency, but aside from his brazen rhetoric, he pursued the same exact imperialist policies as his predecessors. So the next time around, Arabs and Muslims stuck with the Democratic Party and brought in Joe Biden. And after the trauma of the genocide that we witnessed, some within the Arab and Muslim community thought that the solution was to vote Republican to make the Democrats pay. And Malcolm X described the reality of this rotten political system for us more than 60 years ago. It's a con game. They terrify you with the wolf so that you run to the fox. And when you find out that the fox is nothing but a bloodthirsty fox, they bank on your political amnesia to sell you the wolf as the solution again. And now this childish fool in the White House, who spares no moment to puff out his chest like a primate and tweet in all caps lock, wants to convince us that Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and Yemen are the problem. As if we didn't watch the United States and Israel decapitate babies on live stream for more than a year. And since the cat's out of the bag and the empire's devilry has been laid bare naked for all to see, they have nothing left but pure suppression. If you dare speak a word of truth, you'll be abducted and disappeared. And make no mistake, if they're targeting the non-citizens now, they're only priming the masses to acquiesce when they come for the citizens next. You see, Sayyid Hassan Nasrullah mentioned this from the very beginning of the genocide against Palestine, when he said that the resistance in Palestine is being subject to the worst smear campaign in history, and that anyone with a pen or a tongue was obliged to speak out and defend the truth. And then he warned that if you don't, the time will come when you're not even allowed to speak about this issue anymore. The time is upon us. And it's not the Trump era. It's simply the next phase of the dying empire. And when the dying empire runs out of tricks to distract and fool the masses, and it finds no other way to contain the resentment and dissent of the masses, it has nothing left to do but to bring down the iron fist. And when the iron fist comes down, then we all have a choice to make. We can either pay the price of submission, or we can pay the price of resistance.